now on immigration. State lawmakers are wrangling with two bills, one in the House, another in the Senate, that would put some teeth in state immigration law. The bills would require some employers to use a federal database, E-Verify, to make sure workers are legal and provide for penalties against local officials who ignore the law, which is happening now. I debated the issue tonight with Brett Bittner, the executive director of the state Libertarian Party, and D.A. King, president of the Dustin Inman Society. Brett Bittner, there are workers in this country illegally who are facing no consequences really at all. They're using social services. What's wrong with the bills that are making their way through the House and Senate now?
Well, the big issue that I see with both of the bills is that they're treating a symptom rather than addressing and curing the underlying illness, and that illness is the state of the welfare programs and social services here in the United States.
All right, but the welfare state is not going anywhere in the short term, so what's the solution to the immigration problem?
Well, what we're looking at with both of the bills is we're growing the size of government. And you know, the Libertarian Party of Georgia is one that is staunchly opposed to growth of government in size or scope.
D.A., what do you make of this argument that it grows the size of government to require businesses to go through E-Verify?
Russ, I'm all for smaller government, but not to the extreme extent, apparently, that many libertarians are, in that not only do we not enforce immigration laws, but essentially we don't have immigration laws. Most Americans will be happy to chip in a portion of their taxes to take care of our poorest, but by the same token, most Americans are not willing to give up our common language, our rule of law, our jobs, and our benefits to people who come here in violation of the immigration laws that we do have. The answer, quite clearly, is to enforce the laws that we do have.
Brett Bittner points out that we're facing a big state budget deficit, and both the agriculture business and the construction business say if these bills are passed, it'll hurt the Georgia economy.
Atlanta Business Chronicle in July ran an article about a report that estimated the cost annually to the state of Georgia for education, incarceration, and health care for people here illegally at $2.4 billion.
One thing that Mr. King fails to recognize is the net economic benefit of immigrants coming to this country. We're seeing that would be what we would lose is as citizens here in Georgia, we would see higher prices for everything that we're buying at the grocery store. We would see higher prices for every home that's built without the labor, the low-cost labor that these immigrants provide.
Well, why wouldn't it make sense to have Georgia workers make more money in these jobs, give those jobs to people who are in this country legally?
Well, what we're seeing is even here in Georgia, there's an onion processing plant down in Vidalia that's operating at about 60% capacity because they don't have enough people to fill the jobs, and we're talking double-digit unemployment here in the state of Georgia.
Are there Georgia workers, D.A. King, who are lining up for jobs in poultry plants in this state, who are lining up for jobs to lay bricks on these construction projects?
I don't know about the line for poultry plants at the wages that they're being paid. If we pay a living wage, if we bring the wage up to a point at which an American can live the American dream with dignity in his own country, you will find that line.
Well, Georgia voters have made it clear they want some action. Lawmakers have promised it. Do you think it's going to happen this year, one of these bills?
The state law, the HB 87, I'm supremely confident that this will become law in very close to the form it's in now, yes.
Mr. Bittner, what do you think?
I think that we're going to see some immigration law come to pass. Unfortunately, I think we'll be plagued with lawsuits.
Well, as you pointed out, the bills are changing and being revised by the day. We're going to keep an eye on it. We appreciate you both for being part of the discussion.
Thank you, Russ.
Thank you, Russ.
Now, D.A. King says the E-Verify system has gotten a lot more reliable in recent years and insists that complaints of it being costly and cumbersome to business are an invention of the Chamber of Commerce. Brett Bittner agrees with the Georgia Agribusiness Council and the Farm Bureau that immigration should be a federal issue.
And still